The opportunities in expanding abroad are endless, whether it be in Asia or the Middle East. There are a number of countries that have very low barriers to entry in both Asia and the Middle East. The opportunities also include the ability to line up with distribution agents, with marketing agents, placement agents, to make sure that your products are properly placed, as well as we help with outsourcing, whether that be for a CCO or business development. The war for talent is very real in these countries. And half the battle is making sure where to go, who to speak to, and making sure you're getting the right talent. So we have the relationships and we can definitely help with that. Regulatory approaches differ from one country to another by way of different legislation, cultural nuances, marketing approaches, the way you go about placement agents, the way you position your products, transparency on documents, full, true, and plain disclosure is the rule of thumb, as it goes with most of these securities documents in these countries, whether it be in Asia or the Middle East. The regulatory framework among countries in these jurisdictions is vastly different. We have countries, for example, like Japan, that have very nuanced marketing regimes, very nuanced in terms of solicitation, getting tripped up on the solicitation rules, which you can and can't say at conferences. It could be as something as speaking about a product or speaking about the economic state of affairs. So they do differ substantively from one country to another, and that has to be accounted for in the policy and procedures manual, and we guide the client through the process to account for these major differences. The ways these differences are managed are a number of things. One included training and development for employees. The other thing is what's included in the policy and procedures manual, the risks that are identified in the independent risk assessment, as well as making sure that the products and the business model map to the applicable rules and regulations of that jurisdiction in all the manuals. So that could be including privacy law, AML compliance, and securities law. Some of the key challenges, first of all, is making sure that the business case makes sense, and as well as the regulatory case. The business case meaning, do you have sufficient AUM to go into these jurisdictions? Is there enough scale to go in these jurisdictions? Does your business model make sense? Do you have enough of a differentiable products and or services, and even track record of performance to go in these jurisdictions? In other words, making sure that you're making a dent in that market and you're clearly differentiating yourself from your competitors in that market. Some of the key elements to consider when you're expanding into these markets include things like product mix, geographic mix, the type of clients that you're going to attract, whether they be retail clients, institutional clients, that could be sovereign wealth funds, pension plans, endowment funds, and the like, as well as the overall risk factors by doing business in that country. They can include regulatory risk factors, they can include business risk factors, reputational risk factors, market risk factors, and the like. We have local experts in each of the jurisdictions in Asia and the Middle East in which we license asset managers. That includes the gamut from chief compliance officers to other compliance personnel, business development people, people that can help with placing with the right placement agent or distribution agent, as well as outsourced chief compliance officer duties and responsibilities, which we can help assist in placing these people.